What's up? Welcome to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be discussing my garden army and the cheaters and hackers that are in the game playing as we speak right now. I've been on this for about a week and a half, and I've done the math, I've got the science behind it, and I'm not going to break that down specifically how I'm doing it because the cheaters could drastically change their scores, and we're just not going to allow that. We're just going to put them on blast right now, and that's going to be that. So when you look at the leaderboard, you have Matea Games. He's been number one on there for a long time for time played, and he used to be on the leaderboard for kills. Now he's just wiped up off of there, just gone, obliterated, poof. But he keeps climbing the leaderboard, right? In time, his money, but his kills, he just got swept by these people that all of a sudden just got millions now, okay? So when you do the cash value per kill, so how it works is when you have a high rate of DPS into a high health zombie, you make lots of money super fast, okay? Because they're just crunching out so much damage into that zombie that you're just making that money fast. So the bigger the health, the more money you're going to make off of that one zombie kill. Compared to a smaller zombie at a smaller health, no matter how fast you kill him, you're making less money. So you need a larger health zombie to increase that money, okay? So if we take the minimum amount of DPS with the amount of time it takes for a zombie to come out that door to the very end of the door, okay? There is a time allotted for that, for plains, cave, army, lava, right? They're going to come out and they're going to make it to the end. There is a time limit for that. So if you use minimum DPS, you're just going to be resetting that wave. Let me get to something real quick. What I've been doing is I farm the pots, and I farm every single time I get on. No matter what, I buy every single pot. So here we go. We've got 2 Venus flytraps. One is at 376 meters in height, and we're at 25,000 damage. What I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out when would be the best way to stop merging your one plant. Okay, because right now I need a lot of plants to merge into that one Venus flytrap to increase it. So now I have a larger Venus flytrap, and you'll see it's a 5-star, but I got to merge 461 meters into it to increase that DPS value. So let's just randomly say that's going to take 30 plants. Well, instead of merging 30 plants into one plant for an extra 1,000 DPS, how about we find the biggest Venus flytrap? It may say 2,500 DPS, and that's the one we're going to merge those other 30 plants into. And now we have a third or fourth Venus flytrap that's doing another 30,000 damage, right? That makes more sense than using up 30 Venus flytraps for an extra 1,000 DPS. That's what I'm trying to do here. I am trying to farm pots to make the most amount of DPS in the shortest amount of time spent without making mistakes, and I'm doing a lot of experimentation, and I'm trying to figure this out for you guys. So the more mistakes I make, the less you make. But when I go to the leaderboard and I see all of a sudden Matea is just off of the kill leaderboard, it got me thinking, what's going on here? So I have done a lot of work, a lot of math, a lot of recording, and an immense amount of recording, and every possibility and outcome from that, with including clicking to spawn the rest of the wave button in. Boom. Okay? Now these people that came out of nowheres and just got millions of kills, I'm here to tell you right now, there is not a method that you could do in this game that can get you that amount of kills in that fast of a time. Because there is a certain amount of time it takes for the wave to change, for those zombies to spawn in, and then for you to click the button to spawn them in. Okay? So these guys right here, 1 through 6, they are either cheating or they're using a glitch, but they have ruined the leaderboard for Matea and these other guys over there. Because it is impossible to do that. Some of these people I have found on the leaderboard don't even exist in the most time played yet. They're not even in the top 100. Okay? Now, I'm on Xbox, by the way, so I cannot run over there and scroll that leaderboard. It doesn't work. There's not a button for me to push or press or whatnot. So I had to make an account on an iPad, went over there, and, well, not an iPad, but an Android cell phone. And I went over there and scrolled that leaderboard. And in the meantime, I made another account on my PC and loaded it up with a lot of my plants, and I transferred it over there so I could clear up some space, because obviously there's no way to delete the amount of pots that I've got in my inventory. So it's just taking up space, and I'm trying to make it easier for me to go through. So here we have the first place guy with 2 million plus kills. Okay? Realistically, if that were true and possible for us to do, the amount of time you would need is pretty good, but not pretty good. I can't really get into detail of that because I just don't need that information out there, but you guys can do your own math and figure it out, okay? But I am telling you, there is only a certain amount of kills you can get, minimum or maximum. And I've went with the maximum amount of kills you get, and I went above and beyond that maximum by a larger number, okay? And it's just not possible to do within that certain amount of time, okay? So then I lowered it, went with a different number. And is this possible? Yes, some numbers are possible with a certain amount of time to achieve a certain amount of kills. All right, but you got to have the hours to match that in time played to get those kills. These guys that have those kills do not have the hours to back up that kill count. They do not. Okay? It is impossible to get that kill count within those hours. You cannot do it. And now let's say if in the future you have accumulated 1 million kills playing naturally, I'm telling you right now, the time played in that game is going to be over a lot of hours. It's not going to be where Matea's at. Okay? And I've done the math. I have figured out the exact number of times he has hit that spawn button. Spawn the rest of the wave in. I know the exact amount to get those exact amount of kills he's got. And I figured out where he's probably stopped at to farm up his money to collect the amount of money he has. Okay? That dude is straight up legit for the leaderboard. And for the leaderboard to be taken over by a bunch of cheats, that's kind of dirty. Right? Because this guy's putting some time in to be able to do what he's done. So it's kind of crappy that the devs aren't paying attention to that leaderboard and stripping those people from playing the game. That's not fair to the people who've put the work in legitly and their math adds up. To the people who haven't put the work in legitly and those numbers don't crunch out the same as they should. So that's got to be looked into. Somebody's got to do something about that because it's not possible. Matea has 545,000 kills or something, and M25 has like 120,000 kills. And he's basically just chilling, probably farming the plains or something. Okay? He's doing whatever he's doing. I mean, I don't have a lot of kills. I'm well below 100,000 kills. I'm just farming candy corn and collecting a lot of chests. I used to buy every chest. Now I'm just focusing on 3. But I still buy every chest because I go up there and I just switch my controller layout around and I automatically just start picking up the pots. And I'm going to show you at the end of the video the kills that M25 and or M24, whatever his name is, and Matea have for their time played. And I'm telling you, there is a drastic difference between the two killed numbers. But the amount of time adds up for both of them and for their play style. Okay? And for these people to just appear out of nowhere with millions of kills is absurd. So it's impossible to do. There's a certain amount of time, and that's all there is. The dev knows it. The people who created this game can see that. Obviously, they created it. They know exactly how long it's going to take for those zombies to walk over there. And while using maximum amount of DPS per clicking the spawn the wave, rest of the wave in every single time it ends, boom, bang, spawn it in again. There's only a certain amount of kills you can get doing that. So do the math, folks. They're cheating, and it's not fair for the people who have been on that leaderboard to see it wiped away because of people like this who are either using a cheat engine, just typing in their own values, or they're speeding up the time of the server to get those zombies to come running out faster. And still, you would need the time to back that up. And there's Matea. And his time, it matches. His numbers match. M524. His time for how he's playing matches. It's crazy. And that kind of sucks. You know? Because he's just playing a basic game. He's just doing his own thing. Matea, he's probably on the lava floor with some extremely high health, and he's got some extreme amount of damage, and that board is filled with plants just crunching out money, right? It's very easy to accumulate money. But kills? No, man. This game's only been out a certain amount of time. So that means there's only a certain amount of kills you could naturally receive from the time the games come out to where it is today. And for the certain amount of time those guys have played, those numbers do not add up. It's humanly impossible. And it's not fair for the guys who have been playing legitly and now their names are not up there. That it should be fixed. And for everybody out there and watching, thank you. Stay safe, be blessed, and have a great day.